Hey everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. It's time to talk about module number 3. In this week, we're going to be covering Italian art, Renaissance art, during the 1400s. And this is the time period that is really important for the development of art. It's still the way art is taught in classes today, with techniques such as chiaroscuro and linear perspective, things like that. And we also are going to be completing our museum gallery event, which has you visiting virtually some museums, and we're going to have a worksheet to complete for that. We also have journal number 3 as well. So join me. We're going to head over to the Canvas site. I'm going to walk you through module number 3. And here we are over on Canvas. So module 3 is open for us, and up top we have our usual suspects. We've got the video you're watching right now, my office hours every Monday and Wednesday from 4:30 to 7 p.m., and also the action plan for the week. We'll take a quick look at that. The summary of the lecture for this week. We just have one lecture, Italy in the 15th century. The objectives. This is the time period where we learn about perspective, foreshortening, chiaroscuro, some basic elements that artists are still taught today in school. All of those developed during this time period, during the 1400s. And also we want to make sure we're able to identify artworks that utilize linear perspective, as well as seeing some artworks that don't utilize linear perspective. And we're going to learn about that technique in the lecture, but it's the idea of creating three-dimensional space through on a two-dimensional artwork, and it's a mathematical formula. So we're actually going to practice that in our journal this week. The assessments, we have the museum gallery event that you will turn in, and then journal number 3, which gets turned in at the halfway point of the semester. So our lecture this week, Italy in the 15th century or the 1400s, our study guide, and then the further exploration section. We've got our readings up above, and then underneath the readings is a book on perspective. This is an optional text, but if you find that you really enjoy perspective, please feel free to download it, and it's just a fascinating basically walkthrough of how we see and how artists then take that and put it onto two-dimensional surfaces. A video on one-point perspective, a video on Donatello's David, and another video on perspective. This is an optional one. It talks more about the foundations and the very beginning of it, but it is totally up to you if you want to watch that one or not. We'll take a look at the museum gallery event, and this is going to be a worksheet that you submit, so make sure to download this worksheet. Please do not reformat it or do anything else. It is in a Word document, and you are able to get a copy of Microsoft Office. There's a link on the syllabus page that shows you how to get a student copy of all the Microsoft Office suite for free. So what you will do is you'll just type into these boxes here. They'll expand if the boxes fill up. And you're going to compare and contrast two museum sites. You're going to write down the name of the museum. Please create a hyperlink to the main page. The location of the museum, where are these places physically located. For visiting, please understand that I just want the amount of money it would cost you to visit the museums. Some of them cost a lot of money, some of them are free. So I'm just looking for you, how much it is, and also how much it is for parking, because that can be one of those incredibly expensive things that we have to pay for that we don't think about. Talk about the landing page, the menu bar, which would be at the top of the landing page. How easy was it to navigate through this website? The best and worst parts of the site, or at least parts of the site that needed improvement. For your favorite artwork of the museum, please include a picture here or even underneath the worksheet itself is fine. Describe the artwork, why you like it, and any closing thoughts or maybe even a short summary of the time you spent on the museum site. You should spend at least 30 minutes on each site. So I've listed some of the major museums within the United States, some of the major museums outside of the United States. You are not limited to these museums by any means. So if you want to use another museum, that is totally okay. And for the due dates, the project is due September 21st, although you do have a grace period for this project of September 28th. The project is worth a lot of points, 40 points, so please make sure to spend the time completing it. I did bring an example here of a past student submission, and so you can kind of see, generally speaking, the length of this project was like a little bit over 3 pages. So I would say you probably should do at least 2 or to 2.5. The only thing the student kind of did wrong was they talked about all the different prices, and you don't need to. I'm just looking, how much is it for you to visit? You don't need to give me all the individual prices for things. The last thing we need to do is the journal entry. And the journal entry actually has you doing some drawing. You can use a printer paper for this, but if you could use colored pencil, that would be great. But again, if you have it, that's wonderful. The idea is for us to practice doing some linear perspective in a fun environment. So you're going to be drawing some geometric shapes and then extending those to a vanishing point. I've got a short video here on how this is all like put together and literally step-by-step directions. So if you're a direction person, I have those. If you're a kinesthetic learner where you have to watch to see something being created, I have that short video for you here. On this journal, you're going to submit 2 images, one of the project in progress and one of your finished work. So for this journal, this one may take a little bit longer than normal. So I would expect 90 minutes to 2 hours at the most. And you're looking at, when I had to do these projects when I was in school, I would just throw on a movie or watch a couple episodes of my favorite TV series, because you do want this project neat. It is a formalized project, so it is step 1, step 2, step 3, but they're very easy to, these shapes are very easy to create. Just make sure you use a straight edge. That's the main thing. And you'll see all the points, all the shapes go to one vanishing point, and you will learn about vanishing points and things like that in the lecture this week. All right, that is everything. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please drop me an email or visit my office hours Monday and Wednesday. I will be back shortly to tell you about module number 4.